Welcome back to Modified Fate. I'm Cheese, here with Blackcraft and Wheelman.
Hello.
Hello.
We got a lot of news from Adepticon. We're all pretty hyped about. I've got images in the queue for that. And then we've done 2 tournaments recently we'll go into. But first, you guys want to start with a game?
Yeah, we
Sure.
got stuff to get to. We got,
Get through this.
let's get started, man. We don't got time.
If I can find it real quick.
I say we don't have time.
So, if you're not familiar with the game, I pick a character in MCP. I tell these guys 3 facts, one of which is not true, about that character. If they guess the fact correct or fiction correctly, they'll get a point. If both of them don't get it, I'll get a point. And there's 3 characters total. All right. So our first character is Daredevil. You guys read any Daredevil comics?
Yes.
Great. Here we
No.
go.
Have you read this comic? Yes.
Number 1, he has superhuman taste, and he can remember every ingredient of a food or drink he samples as long as it is at least 20 milligrams. Number 2, for a time, Matt engaged in a romantic relationship with Black Widow. And then number 3, the Beast possessed and transformed Daredevil at the whims of Mephisto. What are we thinking?
Taste one seemed hyper. All of it.
You're coming in and out there, Wheelman.
Sorry. The taste one seemed hyper specific.
I definitely know how much 20 milligrams is.
Try. I'm trying. Am I? So I know sometimes I end up swaying Wheelman. Should I speak my logic out loud or?
It's up to you.
Okay. Well, I know B is definitely true.
I'm not surprised by that.
B is definitely
Yeah,
true.
Matt's a big hoe bag.
He is. He's the man. He's the man. What is it? Yeah, he's a.
Without fear of STDs.
Yeah, of STDs.
He. That's the running gag, right? That he's a lady. He's a.
I mean, Mephisto's kind of a street level dude, and he gets mixed up with like Kingpin and stuff a lot. So that one seems on brand to me.
So I don't
But
know.
I don't know who the Beast is. So
The Beast. I'm trying to remember if it's actually Mephisto. Like I'm thinking, like, was it really Mephisto? I'm trying to.
I'm trying to Google. Is that what you were about to say?
Yeah, I'm gonna Google it. It's. I mean,
Are you actually?
I'm no, I'm not.
I was gonna say.
I just
That's the Shadowlands. It's the Shadowlands story. And I can't remember exactly how that went. I remember hating that storyline, so I didn't really read it. I was like, this is dumb.
I'm gonna say before Joel says anything else, I'm just gonna lock in that A is false or not totally accurate, whatever you want to say.
The superhuman taste. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
it's just too specific.
I'm gonna say C, in that it's not Mephisto. It was the Hand or some other character. It wasn't actually Mephisto. That's my answer. Because A seems like it might have been like some Silver Age nonsense.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get screwed on that, but
so C was the lie. The Beast is a different demon than Mephisto.
Okay. See, I couldn't remember. So I did get that right then. Yeah. I couldn't quite gel it. I was like, was it not? Was it some other, or did I not read it closely enough? I don't remember. Like I said, I didn't like that line, but that
Yeah.
storyline.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Daredevil had all of his senses like extremely enhanced, not just like his hearing, etc.
Because
I just thought the recipe memorization was a little off, but
Yeah.
it was so powerful at one point. Supposedly, he could actually just tell colors by radioactive signatures or whatever. Like they go wild. They go wild when they need it with what his powers let him perceive.
noted.
All right. So Blackcraft's up 1. And next character is Elektra Nachos. Number 1, she outbid Tony Stark to buy Hell's Kitchen. Number 2, she was revived by the Hand in a move to gain an edge in the ongoing battle with the Chaste. Number 3, her powers include martial artist, telepathy, telekinesis, healing factor, and sword fighting.
So I'm gonna say C. And I'm sure she has some random comic book where she has all of those powers. But right now I'm gonna say C.
Yeah, I'm good with that because I know she has some
I know she's been resurrected
like
like
the
30,
hand
100
resources.
times,
So
right?
A makes sense to me.
And A sounds like it might have been a random comic somewhere down the line.
So B is the lie.
All right. Hit me with the one comic she had telepathy.
Oh, I have no clue. I just pulled that straight from the website. It just has a list of people's superpowers.
Okay, fair enough.
She
She doesn't normally. She's just a really good ninja, guys.
Her current updated revive story is she was revived by Daredevil.
Because I know she's been revived.
I finally get a point after so many of these. So the third character
lock in, Wheelman. Come on.
is
I don't.
Bullseye. And I will be shocked if you guys get this one. Number 1, before his mercenary career, Bullseye tried his throwing skill to become an MLB player. He grew bored throwing a no-hitter, so the last pitch of the game, he killed the batter with the ball.
Totally believe that.
Number 2, at one point, he was declared insane due to a brain tumor. He hallucinated that random people were actually Daredevil and tried to kill them all. And then number 3, he had a romantic relationship with Elektra after becoming obsessed with her while studying her to assassinate her. That's what I like to hear, the silence after.
All right. A I know is true. I know is true. The thing is, I'm not sure if C is. I don't know about C. I don't know if they actually had a romantic relationship. Maybe he faked himself, posed as Daredevil, and got in her pants somehow. I don't know. What's B again?
At one point, he was declared insane due to a brain tumor. He hallucinated that random people were actually Daredevil and tried to kill them all.
Oh, that seems like it might have actually happened too.
Guess locking in C again.
Yeah, I might have to lock in C. Let me think. Not my final answer. Just do a quick Google search. Don't listen to the keyboard. I don't know. Let's go with C.
Well, you don't even want to give Wheelman a chance to win or tie.
No.
I thought we were just trying to beat you.
That's also true. Yeah. So
I want
C's.
to win. Or C's.
Yep, that is the lie. He did become obsessed with her, but they never were involved with each other. I thought the MLB player one would have been more enticing to you guys.
I think that's his most common, like part of his most common origins is that he was so good at pitching that he just decided to be a psychopath instead. See, I know there's like some crazy stories, like the Max, the Punisher Max series. Bullseye's in there. He becomes so obsessed with the Punisher, he basically kidnaps a family, kills the father, puts himself in the father. He basically holds them hostage for like days or whatever. Then, like Punisher, they go to a park, and he has like a bunch of like paid mobsters like try to murder him and his family, his fake family that he just kidnapped, so he could be more like Frank Castle, so he could try and understand him. The Max version of Bullseye is actually somehow more insane than the normal version of Bullseye. It's great though. I recommend that whole arc of Punisher versus Bullseye. There's like there's a great fight between them, and they're fighting in like a construction zone, and so they fall like 3 floors, and like they look to like their left and their right, and there's like all these power tools and shit around, and like Bullseye is just like, oh, there is a god. And then they just like start cutting pieces off of each other. It's the best.
I did read one of his facts was that he teamed up with Daredevil, or not, he teamed up with Deadpool at one point.
I believe it. Daredevil's not always been a 100% good guy.
No, Bullseye teamed up with Deadpool.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Bullseye. Deadpool has not always been 100% a good guy.
Yeah. All right. So Blackcraft wins that one. I think he's won like the last 2 or 3. Hate this guy.
Can't get got, except for that one time I did get got.
So we went to the Akron Brew Roll, Wheelman and I. Blackcraft was lame.
Fine, I'll just go paint while you guys talk about it.
That's fair. I think it was like, what, a 3.5 hour drive or more?
It was around 3.5, yeah.
So on the way there, we stopped at a gas station, and I was filling up Wheelman's truck, and the monsoon hit me, so I was soaked before the tournament even started. It was great.
That was unfortunate. We were trying to outrun the storm, and it caught back up.
So my round 1. I was playing an Avengers list where I was just like, what can throw a character? It's in my list now. It's basically my list. So round 1, I played against an Asgard player. It was 16 threat, Fisk Montesi. He had Loki 2, Jane Foster, and Apocalypse. And I brought a Hulk. His strategy was to get Jane to the point where he could Heart of the Worthy her, and then sack her to APOC to get 2 extra activations out of them. But I just killed Jane before he could do any of it.
He's fairly new, right?
He's a good player. I don't know if he's that new, but once I killed Jane, Hulk started bullying APOC, and it was He only had Loki left, and I had 4 to his 3 at the beginning, I think.
He clearly knew enough that he figured out this combo that I had never heard of before.
Yeah, he was very excited to tell me after the game.
And I haven't heard it from like the APOC groups or any of the Asgard groups. Like, and it's a fun combo. It's an all in. It's like an
it's
all or
very
nothing.
all in, yeah.
And so, I mean, props for having a unique strategy. In some ways, I'm sorry it didn't work out for you, but
I think I was Cap 1, Hulk, Okoye, Shang-Chi. It was my list in this. And Okoye dazed round 1 and died round 2 because she was doing her job.
that seems fair.
Yep. So what was your round 1, Wheelman?
I don't really remember a whole lot.
Oh,
It was Midnight Sun's mirror match. I know that.
Yep. Looks like it was Extremists Infinity Formula at 17.
Yeah, it was a very close game. The one thing I remember is at one point in the second to last round, probably round 3, we looked at the table and I was trying to figure out where like the 5th extract was, and he had like accidentally set it. Like it wasn't on one of his characters, it was just on his side of the table.
Oh, okay.
And we had no recollection of like how it got there, so we removed it from the game.
Oh, interesting.
We just agreed that there was no way to resolve it in a fair way other than to just remove it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we just had no idea, like if somebody had dropped it and it was supposed to be on the board, or just, yeah, literally no idea, either of us. So we just agreed to remove it from the game and proceed. But yeah, that was it was close. I can't tell you what I played. I don't really remember, other than Blade, obviously.
I think you had Wrecking Crew on the table when I walked over.
I did have, okay, yeah, I do remember having Wrecking Crew.
And I got to watch quite a bit of this game because my game was done in like 35
quick.
minutes.
Yeah, ours went very close to time.
Half his team.
Yeah.
In one round.
But yeah, so I won that one, and unfortunately I got paired up against the future tournament winner from Brad from Crit Hit Wild, and he absolutely dumpstered me, as you can see. He was very, very kind, and even in their podcast episode about the tournament, he made sure to mention how bad my dice rolls were, and that there was no path to victory for me when my dice left me like that. So it wasn't much of a game.
I think he said your Thor 2 like rolled 2 hits and like 4 attacks or something like that.
Yeah, the first 2 activations. That. Yeah. So I wouldn't even call it like a misplay. It was just like at the very beginning, Thor safe grabbed an extract because of bump, but when I pulled him back, it was just sort of a luck thing. He was like I don't know, 1/8 of an inch off of not like he had to move top of 2 to attack instead of being in the mix, and then he did no damage for the next 2 rounds, and yeah, just not a path to victory. It's also kind of dumb just sitting there on the other side of the table watching a war Wolverine convert like 11 hits against you and just not being able to do anything against it. It's just kind of
for sure.
broken in my opinion, but like just sitting there having that done to you, it just is it's a real negative play experience. But yeah, he crushed me.
A lot of Servants players will say it's feast or famine with that Wolverine.
Well, he feasted the whole game. There was no famine.
I've only ever seen it feast.
It's more like feast.
I've never seen it not feast.
It's more like feast, or like you do they call it Biggie size anymore at Wendy's? It's like a Biggie size meal. It's like feast or a Biggie size meal at Wendy's. It doesn't feel like famine. Like if you have a quote unquote famine roll, that's just like a normal bad roll you would have had any other place in the entire game. Like, that's
Yeah.
how I feel about War Wolverine.
Yeah, the 2 games I played of APOC, it's stupid. 100%.
It's 100% a negative play experience for the other person because you're just sitting there, watch them turn 3 or 4 dice into hits, and then your character just dies. Like it sucks. But yeah, so he was a great opponent. Obviously, he went on to win the whole thing. But I never had a real chance in that game, except for maybe the first turn, I guess. But yeah, not great.
Where am I? So my round 2 was against what is becoming my arch nemesis, Dean from Michigan.
This man
This
is your
man
rival and he doesn't
loves
know it.
to Helios my big dude every time. This time though, my Hulk lived on 1, but then died to Tony's second action. But he's far more experienced with Avengers than I am, so I was happy to get him to say, "Oh, that's a great play," when I Avengers assembled and took 3 secures from him.
N-
But then the Helios just took me out of the game completely, even though my Beast did get his Hulk down. But yeah, it was too far gone at that point.
Between watching you and the guy who won Worlds, like I suddenly want to start playing Avengers. Like it's just
Yeah.
so
See, I'm having a hard time shelving them at the moment. It's just too much fun.
Steve 1 just enables shenanigans.
And he's
so
just
much.
really good. The shield throw is amazing.
Yeah.
But he was Steve 1, Tony 1, Namor, Hulk, and I can't think of the 5th guy, but we were 5-on-5. I was Hulk, Beast, Luke Cage, Steve, obviously, and Loki 1. I probably should have not brought Luke and Loki together because they're not a lot of high output models. But my Beast kept his Namor out of the game pretty handily.
Yeah, I believe it. That Beast is also like slowly becoming my favorite character in the game.
Yeah, I love Beast. And then I double spendered with him on Hulk, and that took his Hulk down. I think it was turn 5 though, so it didn't matter. But he's gonna be at a upcoming tournament that we're going to. So better watch out, Dean. I'm coming for you.
he's your nemesis and he doesn't know it.
It's a one-sided rivalry.
I feel like there's like animes like that where it's like, I don't even know you.
Right.
No, it's here. It's in game where Scarlet Witch says you took everything.
I don't even know
from
your
me.
name. Yeah.
I don't even know you. Like, I don't even know who you are.
And then round 3, I played against the guy that won the Sportsman Award, Johnny Blasto, playing Dormammu.
Is that his real name?
I don't know. I know it's John, I think.
Oh.
But so my Hulk threw his Dormammu into Zemo twice, and Zemo got to do nothing in the game. So I spendered with Hulk, got the throw, threw him into Zemo, did 5 damage to Zemo. Next round, I spendered into Dormammu, threw him into Zemo. Zemo took 5 damage again. He was gone. So it was Dormammu, Zemo. I think he had Namor. I can't remember. He had 4 characters. But my Thor killed his Namor, and then Hulk just kept tossing Dormammu all over. He also never stood on the Fisk points, so I just scored them every round. That's why the score is so lopsided there. So that's my round 3. And then Jared got my nemesis's son, round 3.
Yep. They both love their Helios laser. They pretty much never leave home without it. So I prioritize taking out Iron Man, and I think he went down bottom of 2. But in this game, as the last game, Thor did nothing. This game, Hulk did nothing. And that's not a formula for victory. Also, Draghi, when he needed a wild, he had it. When he needed a block, he overblocked. There was just not a lot of feel goods for this tournament for me. But yeah, it was closer than the game against Brad, but it was pretty much locked up. Let's see, we went 3 rounds. Yeah, it was pretty much locked up, top of 3, when things just didn't happen for me. But I did accomplish my goal of not getting Helios, but he didn't need it because he put my Hulk down pretty easily.
It's unfortunate.
Having to spend all your power just to try to push damage through and not have the power to heal, like, it just, yeah, not a good showing for me that day. But yeah, like I said, they never leave home without their Iron Man Helios. So
yeah, talking between his
It's a-
rounds,
it's
it sounded like they were going to change what they were playing for next time.
Mm.
We'll see. They'll probably still have Iron Man in their lists.
Yeah.
So we dropped for round 4 because we had a long drive home, and we still got home midnight later.
Something like that. Yeah.
You won 2 things in the raffle though. That was pretty cool.
I did. I won the Obi-Wan Darth Vader Shatterpoint duel thing, and I won some custom scenic, like 3D printed MCP bases that have like a bunch of Sentinel parts all over them.
I didn't even look at those. That's awesome.
But yeah, I put in 2 raffle tickets and I won both of them. So that was my come up for the day, I guess.
Yeah, you used all your luck there.
I was about to say.
So the crit hit wild guys took first and second. They played in the final round. Everybody there was nice. It was pretty great. Other than round 3, while I was playing, the 2 guys on my left were like cussing at each other, like it sounded aggressive, but neither of them reacted to each other. So I don't know if they're friends or what. Nobody was laughing. They were just cussing at each other and no reaction. It was the weirdest thing.
Also, that venue's a sweatshop.
Oh yeah, it was so fucking hot in there.
It was like 34 degrees out and we were sweating to death inside, and they had the doors open. So
yeah, I was shivering before round 1 started, and then my whole back was sweaty the rest of the time.
Also, Akron is kind of a shithole. So like the venue is in like an old abandoned factory looking type thing that has sort of had a little bit of a glow up, but like not the same as Electric Works. So I don't know. They obviously get the turnout because they had all of us for MCP, and they had like another 30 or to 40 people for 40K, and then they had another
War Machine,
12 people for War Machine. So it was a well attended event, but not the best venue. But the food was good. Lunch that came with our ticket price was really good. But it's just a little.
When you get your ticket, you can either get all day soda, which is great, or you get a beverage token because it's also a bar that we're at. And then
you get one.
Then lunch is included with the tournament.
I did have their like house cider, and it was very good. So yeah, other than like just sweating to death, it was.
Yeah.
I would go back.
Oh, definitely. I think they have it in August is the next one because they do it twice a year.
I shudder to think there's
it's
an
over
be so 70-degree day.
It's the weekend of my daughter's birthday though, so I won't be going.
The smell
Yeah.
of a bunch of sweaty dudes in a room.
It
Uh,
doesn't get more real miniature gamers than that.
yeah, for sure.
That's true.
And then we had our local tournament here on last Saturday. Well, you haven't been talking a lot, Joel, so you can take this one away.
All right. So we had our affiliation battle tournament. And it was affiliation lists only. If you played Dormammu, Dracula, or Mephisto, basically you had to bring their card and play them every time. And then since the new crises were in effect, we figured a lot of people would have Gladiator, and he's unaffiliated and therefore wouldn't be used except outside those specialty ones. So we just gave him Rogue Agent for the event. I will regret this. That is foreshadowing. So first round, I played against Nitro, Kyle, or what is it we keep joking?
For
Keith.
a long time, I thought his name was Keith. Yeah.
Yes, Keith, not Kyle.
I don't know if he
His
hates us calling him Keith or not. So
Well, I just say that it's your fault that
it
you
is my fault.
called him Keith.
Technically,
And
when you call him Keith, you're making fun of me. So
yes, and that's okay because we like to make fun of you. So played against Kyle. He played Magneto, Brotherhood, and I played Medusa, Inhumans. Try to think. He played pretty typical Brotherhood, so it was like Magneto, Juggernaut, Quicksilver, Toad. Trying to think if there was anybody else in there. 6, 7, or 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
there had to be.
Did
Yeah.
I?
He probably
I
had
think
Blob.
Blob. He had Blob. Blob was not very useful because I brought Medusa, King Black Bolt, and that's why his Blob died.
Yeah.
Karnak, Gorgon, and Quicksilver. It was a pretty competitive game, honestly. We were close to tied the first 2 rounds. And then I think it was in the third round where I broke away. What really happened is on a random roll, my King Black Bolt spiked on his Juggernaut and did like 6 damage in one shot. That took his Juggernaut out of the round, took the extract that was on Juggernaut off. And then KO'd his blob. He just started losing people in priority. Gorgon dazed Magneto off of a spender. And that was basically it. Our Quicksilvers were chasing each other around the board. Because at one point, one or the other had an extract and they were trying to get the others. So that was kind of fun. His Toad did Toad things. Karnak did his thing where he did one attack, or no, excuse me, not Karnak. Medusa did her thing where she basically would like Royal Decree, get halfway up the board, throw somebody. I think I threw Toad at one point. Did like 3 to 4 attacks off of her basic, so she got her trigger. And then between the 2 attacks, I should say, she just did everything. Like Medusa loves me, and a lot of this was triggering her. She would trigger, or King Black Bolt would trigger the leadership, which would get them further up the board, power healing, everything. And so basically, I just stole that game last round dazed most of his team and took basically all the points because I had just so much maneuverability at that point.
Watching two Quicksilvers chase each other around sounds awful to watch.
It was kind of funny. Well, because I didn't have Karnak that game. I think I had Beast, and he stole Beast's extract really early, and then his Toad took his side extract. So I just sent my Quicksilver after his Quicksilver.
Gotcha. So you're round one, Jared?
I played Graham, playing Black Order. Brand new player, only has like 2 learning games under his belt, and the one was just a high level concepts game. He gave me everything he had, and I barely squeaked that one out. I was playing a really stupid Mephisto with lots of 2 threats.
Oh, Mephistos, yeah.
It's okay. I don't know. I don't really know what I expected. I guess I was hoping to catch more people off guard than it really was any good for. But yeah, we had a good back and forth game, and I just held him off. It wasn't as close at the end as it was most of the game, but he had a really huge counter punch in round 2. That dazed most of my team, and then he was able to score a lot, and I was able to just hold him off with my counterattack.
Mhm.
I think I played we played on I played the same. I played Scrolls and Superpower Scoundrels all 3 rounds.
Oh, yeah, I can see that now.
And played 20 threat all 3 rounds.
Oh,
That's
that
such
feels like the
long
worst
games.
place. Yeah, especially with your 2s, that feels like the
Yeah.
worst outcome.
Well, I get as many models on the board at 20 though. That's kind of the thought. I mean, I don't know if I would have been better off at lower threat, but so obviously played Mephisto, and then I think pretty sure I had Venom. Venom was a late addition to my roster because of his counterattack with the bodyguard with Mephisto. Just a little combo piece, because even at 9 threat, I still get
like 6 twos? No,
yeah.
5 twos.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think of what I played there. But yeah, you still get a ton of 2s, or in the odd scenario like this, you run Rocket and Groot to get another 5. But yeah, it was a good game. I'm glad he's liking the game, but like I said, he's brand new.
Yep.
So it was a good showing for him.
All right. My round 1 is against Tim. Tim and I play quite often. He likes to throw curveballs at me. So we were on Terrigen and Imkron, 19 threat. He's playing Hydra. I'm playing Avengers still because I just can't stop.
Steve won. It's like a drug.
So my Hulk takes his Red Skull 2 out of the game, turn 1, turn 2. But turn 1, I safe grab the middle with Hulk, and then I think it was his 4th activation. He double walked A-bomb and took my Terrigen canister and flipped my Imkron. Because I was leaving it there because it was on my side. It's obviously safe, right? Wrong. And I was like, damn it, Tim, that was a good play. Because all I had left over there was 3 threat, blanking. Hawkeye. So Hawkeye's obviously not going to kill A-bomb. But I did flip the Imcron, got lucky on the 50-50, so it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Then round 4, with Red Skull gone, Hulk moved over and threw a bomb into 3 of his guys, and I scored that round out. Because Tim never brings brace. I respect it, but I'm not doing that. And I think he regretted it that game because he had to catch his own size 4 character a couple times.
He hides his power level by not bringing brace.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if this man brought brace?
Yeah. Tim's a great player. And then round 2, I played Brendan. He was playing Kingpin. And I had the choice between 16 or 18. I went 16 so that I could play all 4 of my really good 4 threats. So I played Gwenpool, Steve, Shang-Chi, and Bucky 2, who is incredible in Avengers, and I am going to have a hard time ever cutting him. He was Kingpin, Bullseye, Taskmaster, Shadowland Daredevil, and somebody else. Can't remember. So he moved Shadowlands up pretty far, turn 1, grabbed his back, Montesi with the ninjas, and threw that to Kingpin. Shadowlands grabbed the middle one. I proceeded to shoot Shadowlands to days because I'm playing Avengers Gunline in this one. Shadowlands had stealth, so it was a little harder to get to him, but Gwenpool got there. And then after that, this really just became this is Shang-Chi's board, and you're just on it.
Plays Gunline, brought Melee Master.
Yeah. So I kept staggering Kingpin and pushing him away, which is something that Kingpin absolutely fucking hates. And then the last turn of the game, I punched Kingpin, pushed him, charged him, punched him again, staggered him, and pushed him again all the way to the corner. And Brendan actually made a meme about it.
Yeah, it's an ongoing meme about how much you bully Kingpin.
It was like a picture of Shang-Chi and it's like, goodbye, Wilson. That's great. Yeah, Shang-Chi's just a bully. I did make a misplay in this game. I should have shot Gwenpool's rocket at the ninjas instead of Shadowlands. The rocket did kill Shadowlands, but if I shot the ninjas, I would have killed Bullseye, and Bullseye hadn't activated and Shadowlands already did. So I could have put more attacks into Shadowland, but Bullseye ended up dazing Gwenpool and then doing a lot of damage to somebody else. But, and then on Deadline, he kept having randomly just no power on Kingpin, so I would Deadline his Kingpin for 1 damage.
Ugh.
I never dazed Kingpin, I don't. But I got Shadowlands to drop once, I think, with Deadline. It was a really fun game. Let's go back to you, Blackcraft.
So round 2, I played Stephanie. She played A-Force. And she played pretty typical A-Force, I would say, is She-Hulk, Carol 1, Black Cat, Okoye, and Valkyrie. I played Black Bolt 1 for my leader, Maximus, Karnak, Oregon, Beast. We had Montesi and Imcron. So some key highlights were really early. She ran Black Cat in to grab the midline. I moved Maximus up and made Black Cat forget why she was here. Managed to get a bunch of attacks into Black Cat and never actually managed to daze her until the very end of the game. And then she did, what is it? The drop off, the delivery, special delivery.
Yeah, special delivery. Yeah.
She So her She-Hulk got far up pretty far real quick. Then she threw some attacks into Black Bolt, threw some attacks into Gorgon. They started trading off between their respective bodyguards. Karnak sat in the corner and meditated until it was time, and it wasn't time until later. You'll see. But basically, she ended up the big things where she dazed Gorgon really relatively easily, so he woke up with 8 power and spendered She-Hulk twice to basically splatter her, throw She-Hulk into both Carol and Valkyrie.
Yuck.
Eventually got after that and a couple other attacks, She-Hulk went down, and like I think it was towards the end of the second round. She tried to move Okoye up to get Okoye's bodyguard in there, and Maximus told her, "No, you can walk away now, Okoye." And that's probably the biggest like subtle play of the game was just no more stacking bodyguards. Like I'm doing that to you. You're not doing that to me, is basically what it turned into. Black Cat bullied Beast for a while. And eventually she was starting to like really turn the game around and get points on me. But then she moved Carol next to Karnak, and Karnak just was like, okay, I guess I'll attack. Here's an exposed weakness token, and then just splattered her for like 11 damage or something ludicrous.
Jesus Christ.
Because that's my average Karnak with a weakness token. He just was like, all right, well, you're here now. Just exploded her. At that point, I managed to sweep her almost entire team between Black Bolt, Master Punching, Gorgon stayed alive, and just started charging, buildering, spendering. It just started falling apart between all the double throws. Karnak exploded one person, and eventually, basically, I took all the points, every single point, every single secure, and I think I ended up with all of the extracts, or pretty close. Um, and eventually, all she had was Black Cat at the end of the game. And that was it. So it was a lot closer, and she actually had the lead for a while. But basically, the the throws on top of attacks, she couldn't get throwing She-Hulk into her own models hurt, and then my Karnak will just make one attack and destroy somebody. That's why I joke around.
Average Karnak.
Average Karnak builder just obliterates people. Um, so it wasn't as lopsided as it looked until the very last turn, where the Inhumans just brought the pain.
Gotcha.
And I know we ranked Maximus very low in the past. This is officially the game where I take that back and say I'm sorry to Maximus, because he made it worth it this game.
There had to be one.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. He only got one spender off the entire game, but I did it on a Koye,
Mhm.
and it just obliterated her.
Oh, she did her job.
Yeah.
All right, Wheelman.
Yeah. This game did not go very well for me.
Let me guess. Scrolls and superpowers controls.
Yep. Played. The only positive about this was that Jacob just didn't really know what to do against it, but it didn't really matter because I played like dog shit. I played this time I didn't play Venom. Last game I played I remembered it was Mephisto, Red Skull 2, and Venom.
Okay.
To get to 14 and then 3 2s. And then for this one I dropped Venom and played 5 2s plus those 2 and the grunts from Red Skull 2.
A lot of bodies.
And he said it a couple times. He just didn't really know what he was looking at. But it did not help in the end. I did not know that Angel. He was playing X-Men, by the way. I've never played against Angel. I didn't know he had a beam. So after round 1, top of 2, I had Mephisto, Okoye, and I want to say Nebula on the middle point against Angel. And he just beamed twice and basically took them out. And I forgot to bodyguard with Mephisto and Okoye. Just played and then I got really frustrated at myself and just things got away from me really quickly. And then the next round I wasn't able to move him out of the way because they were dazed and he just did it again. And then I had a what's his name? Not Hercules. The new guy.
Gladiator.
He had his Gladiator with 5 confidence tokens on him pretty much the whole game. I just couldn't do anything against him. He was chasing my bullseye all over. As soon as I would get a couple tokens off of him, he would just seemingly charge and attack and do all kinds of things, and he would just have like 11 dice all the time. And yeah, it was just not a fun game. It was 13-15 going into 4, I think, and then he scored all 7 points to win. So not fun. I guess I can talk about my last game too.
Yeah, go for it.
I played Kyle, the man who claims he can't beat anybody, but I'm 0-2 against him.
Yeah.
So, like I told you guys, I just haven't been having good time with the game lately, and this one was especially frustrating because I was ahead almost the entire game, and then he got like one lucky blob splash or whatever, and it just completely wrecked the whole game for me. And I think he scored like, I want to say it was 4-3, or maybe it was like 5-2, to win on whatever round it was, 4 or 5. But yeah, I had it until I didn't, and I don't know. I think I played okay. Like I took out Magneto and basically had Juggernaut doing nothing the whole game against Venom. Venom actually dazed Juggernaut on a clapback, so that was, and then Venom dazed Magneto on his activation, so that felt good, but yeah, just didn't go very well.
Yeah, when I looked over, you were making a rocket attack, and I was joking around, but
yeah,
rocket is so cursed.
I did the team up card where Rocket shoots his blaster 3 times, did 0 damage with that.
Oh, you did curse him.
That was before I even talked to him.
I had all 3 targets 0 damage.
Yeah, Rocket, and then the model is cursed.
I shot twice with his spender, did 0 damage. I actually put Magneto down with just a basic attack from Rocket that I had to have, but it was too little too late. And obviously Blob, you just can't you can't engage him because he's going to push you away, but then he's just going to push you away on his activation anyway. So
yeah,
just didn't have an answer for it. But yeah, that one completely slipped away from me, and I was already frustrated, and that really just put a real bad exclamation point on the day for me.
yeah, it's unfortunate.
I was also playing jank. I understand that, but
You did pretty good with it though.
just the game has not been coming to me easy here at all lately. So need to really change some stuff up.
So my round 3 was against Stephanie. I got the pair down of the XOs. So she was playing A-Force. We had the choice between 20 and what is Extremis 19, 18. And I said, we're going big because I'm going home after this game. So I had Hulk, Thor 1, Cable, Steve 1. She had She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, Okoye, Black Widow 1, Black Cat. There might be another model in there. I can't count. But my Hulk was dazing 3 to 4 characters every round. And my Thor was just chasing around Black Cat, which I never even dazed her, so how that went. Cable and Hulk were bullying She-Hulk, Okoye, and Captain Marvel most of the game. I think I dazed Natasha around 1, and then killed her around 2. He got 12 damage onto Hulk. She got 12 damage onto Hulk, and then he beamed Carol, Okoye, and She-Hulk, and killed Okoye, killed Captain Marvel, and put like 6 damage on She-Hulk. That was after the round where he threw She-Hulk into her a bunch. She didn't play, what is it, Stalwart Determination? The A-Force card that doesn't let them be thrown. She played it a turn too late.
Oh.
But the turn she did play it, Hulk beamed twice and killed Okoye and killed Captain Marvel, and I think put She-Hulk at 1 or 2. Then Cable finished her off. So all Steph had left was Black Cat, and I just scored the rest of the game. It was brutal. There was like no terrain in the middle of this table too. I don't know what the TO was doing, smoking for this.
What? Show me the map. Show me the map.
There were 2 cars and 2 street lamps in the middle, and Cable threw both street lamps for a total of 2 damage on She-Hulk.
It sounds like there should have been a Doctor Who box in the middle.
No, that's
and
not
a
that
car in the
table.
middle.
It was the
Okay.
table with the Sanctum on it.
Did I play on that? There should have been 2 cars in the middle.
Yeah, I said that.
I don't know.
And then Steve just kept protecting Hulk the whole game. That was all that he did. So I went 3-0, and then Joel was paired against the other XO.
So this was Jacob. He mentioned that he played the same team all day, literally the same exact squad of Professor X, Angel, Nightcrawler, Gladiator. He had mentioned up until this game at the end of it that he had been undefeated with this particular crew. So I played Black Bolt 1, Karnak, Beast, Gorgon, Miss Marvel. So it's I basically vastly underestimated how far Gladiator can attack on round 1 because his punches are range 3.
Yeah, it's like old Thor 2.
So yeah, and I think that was my big goof, and it basically set the tone for like the first 3 turns of the game. So basically he the first round, trying to think exactly what happened. It was pretty much everybody tried to grab guests and run. But the big deal was I ran towards the middle with Black Bolt, Gorgon, and I want to say Beast. And so he would Nightcrawler, Puff of Smoke, pass the power to Gladiator with his effect. And then that would give Gladiator the charge first turn, which then he caught my Beast out. And I think he dazed my Beast on that attack, or maybe on the follow-up attack. And then his Angel came up and would get a beam off. So it was a pretty rough start, mostly because I underestimated that Gladiator, and that Gladiator would proceed to get tokens. I would deal some damage to him to get the tokens down, but he would deal some real damage. I think at the end of round 2 or 3, I can't remember, he had my entire team literally dazed. And the only saving grace is his dudes couldn't pick up one of the extracts, and we both kept failing to flip certain of the certain secures because they were pay to flips on the meteors. We just failed to flip them. So that was the only thing that really kept me in the game score wise. So on round 4, I think it was, Black Bolt woke up, Master Punched, and Whispered. Let me step back. Adeland, what is it called? I can't remember. Why can't I remember the name of
Adelan
my
Rising.
Adeland Rising? So all of my dudes got 5 power, so they all topped off. So Black Bolt would Master Punch and then end up beaming. I got some spenders off, basically dazed almost his entire team right back, except for Gladiator, who I came up short on. Then Whisper would either stagger or daze most of his team. Got some extracts to drop. Basically, just started scrambling at that point because he didn't have. He either lost dudes or they were staggered, which slowed down his Gladiator. His Nightcrawler didn't have much luck. But the other big play was at the end of, I think it was round 4. His choice was Nightcrawler can go basically all out and kill Miss Marvel, KO Miss Marvel, or ignore her and dive for points and do some other damage elsewhere. And I think he KO'd Gorgon at this point because I can't remember exactly what happened. That's what he chose to do. Oh, it was if he KO'd Miss Marvel, he'd give me priority, and I was certain to Whisper again, and basically KO Professor X, Days, probably Days Gladiator, and probably KO Angel. So he elected to not attack Miss Marvel, went for points. And then Miss Marvel, who was topped off, basically jumped from each points because she would try and flip, morph, jump, because it gives her a transform, and she's large, and she can interact within 2. Then I would move her again and just start interacting, and she basically flipped every single secure and picked up a point for me. So I ended up a point ahead at that point. We go into next round. He starts by trying to harass my beast, who had magically survived this entire game with Angel, which might have not been the play, because Beast turned around, threw Angel into Professor X, did a spender and paid power onto Professor X, and then walked right back onto a point that KO'd Professor X, and got Angel off the point. He ended up KOing Karnak. Gorgon was gone. And then he brought his he continued Nightcrawler to try and finish off Beast. Beast kept surviving. Beast threw Nightcrawler. And Black Bolt survived his attacks, survived the Gladiator attacks. And so it came down to the last round of the game. He effectively KOs everybody but Black Bolt, but I had most of the points at this point because of my flip. My flip turn with Miss Marvel. So the turn was basically Black Bolt walks away, picks up an extract, and hope he does not flip a point. His Nightcrawler ends up just like an eighth of an inch out of even being able to attempt to flip the midpoint, because the only way he could get there is Puff, and his Nightcrawler just had no power at that point because his Nightcrawler had gone off on characters earlier.
Mhm.
So he literally, because he just literally just didn't have the distance to try and grab the midpoint from me, which would have tied, and if we tied, he would have gone to the next round and won. And because all I had was Black Bolt, there's no way Black Bolt was surviving or making up the points. Yeah, and he rolled it after he would have flipped it, but he literally just couldn't get to that last point. And so I survived a point ahead and won the game.
Nice.
It was rough. Like, having your whole team dazed by round 3 felt bad, but luckily enough, Inhumans had the perfect card for that situation, so they can all start burning spenders
Yeah, that card's insane.
on the clapback. And even then, it was still a rough game. Like I said, the foreshadowing was who let Gladiator into this affiliated X-Men team.
Yeah, that
That was
darn
really
Tio.
well, I didn't want people to not be able to play with their brand new character. Everybody sort of felt forced to buy, right?
Yeah.
So it was a good game. It was intense. And I mean, I earned it. He fought well. It was a brutal game. I literally, like I said, it was his game. If his Nightcrawler was just a little closer, he won. And if we went to next round, he would have won. So it is by the skin of my teeth. I mean, that was the first game where, oh god, the Gladiator suddenly scares me. I was just on my heels the entire game. Every throw mattered just to get characters off of points.
Hmm.
Every pickup mattered. And what kept me in the game is we missed some secures, flipping the secures, and the Miss Marvel flip turn. Like he would have even said, "Yeah, no, that got me back in the game because it turned like 4 points on him."
Yeah, and talking to him after the game, he was very upset to lose to Miss Marvel, and I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, well, that's what we talked about more or less after the game. Is like, Miss Marvel has one great trick, and she literally did it. She jumped across the board and flipped points. Like flipped every point because she can make it at that point, right?
Hmm.
Like, that's the one trick, and it worked. And really, I mean, the only reason I seriously brought her is because it takes energy defense on those pay to flips, and she has a 4.
Yeah. So then tiebreakers, I took first from Blackcraft, even though he was paired up and I was paired down. Suck it. And well, that's that. And then we had some Adepticon stuff.
Oh my gosh, so much Adepticon stuff. Technically, Adepticon happened before this.
Yes, Adepticon happened between these two tournaments that we just talked about. Some repacks. Anyone in these three that you think might get a rework in May?
Well,
We know
Bullseye
Bullseye is getting a rework, right?
Oh yeah, Bullseye is definitely, yep.
I don't know if they're really going to change anybody else.
Maybe
Oh,
Heimdall?
I could see Heimdall and Hood out of these, but since it's such a small amount, I don't know if that will even happen.
Nerf long.
And then out of these, they already said Magic's getting changed.
And Colossus. They said
And
Colossus.
Colossus, yeah.
Which is exciting for me because those are two characters I'd play in Servants.
Yeah. I could see them touching Cable just because he's very similar to Exodus, but with very key differences that could translate over to Cable.
A random Cable nerf would be unfortunate.
Yeah, it would be pretty crazy. We know they're touching Gambit and Toad. I think they said Carnage also.
Carnage is finally getting some sort of rework.
And if they give Vulture an extra defense on physical, it'd be insane.
I'm probably gonna buy that Spider Foes box.
Yeah, these are definitely great value.
Yeah,
I just don't need the tools and stuff.
Yeah, you can just put them in the box at the store. Yeah. And then we saw Phoenix for the first time.
Does it come with a score tracker?
I don't know.
I have no clue.
Just thought about that. It's kind of
yeah, that's interesting. Real quick thoughts on Phoenix.
I feel like we know there's a card missing.
Yes, because they hinted there's a way to get her back into non-Phoenix form.
Yeah.
Like as the only information we have right now is that she just sort of like dies, but we know that's not the case. So
she doesn't last more than a turn without getting like really situationally lucky.
Yeah,
she probably shouldn't.
Anytime you have a model that you don't have to attack to kill, it's kind of a bad thing, I think.
And it's very polarizing, and clearly, like I said, we're missing stuff. I mean, there's some fun things. There's some funny things like Gene. You can now Gene on command. And you can also potentially like the Gene had a special attack that Phoenix Unleashed can use, and can then use it and then potentially lose a Phoenix token so she doesn't explode. So there's some cute but not great things to do with her.
Yeah, we just don't have the full picture yet.
Yeah.
Does she not have a leadership?
No.
They confirm that?
Unless it's on a card, yeah.
That's fair.
I don't know. It was like Phoenix Force or something.
I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, she certainly has another card guaranteed.
Yeah. And then the Exodus I was just talking about, crazy good.
Yeah, but he is very much like Cable.
Yeah, small base Cable.
I wouldn't mind trying Brotherhood, so I'll definitely pick this up.
Yeah.
It'll be. I think
the way they were talking in the interview, it sounded like Avalanche and Lady Mastermind are cheaper models for like a Mystique list, and then
I would think so.
Exodus is for the big boys.
I'd be excited for Avalanche. Like I like classic Brotherhood guys. And Avalanche is definitely a classic one. I imagine he'd work like Shocker.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have a terrain throw if you just look at his base.
And a push. He definitely has a push and a terrain throw.
Yeah. Well, if they do like Gorgon, he'll have a beam too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He reasonably could, like a non-gainer builder beam, just to damage.
So we
Get
have
the
another vampire entering the combat. Nexodus.
I am not painting those spots on that leopard.
He's an energy
Yeah,
vampire.
that's gonna be a panther
I'm just gonna
for
leave
me.
that. I'm gonna
That
leave
is now, yeah, that's now a Black Panther,
I'm just
right?
gonna leave that piece off her base. I think
Oh yeah, you could do that too. Yeah.
that is not for me.
And then the first of our Spider-Man packs. Just cool. I don't know what to
What is
think. Yeah.
Oh, which sorry, it hasn't come up for me.
The 2099
If
pack.
2099 would have
Oh.
had a leadership, I would have probably bought into this, but I'm just not interested in playing Web Warriors.
I like him. I don't know that he's great. He has another he has a pseudo charge there with Web Whip. And he's got a little, it's weird because he kind of does things that ASM does, but not quite.
He's far
Um,
slower than ASM because he's a small base, medium move.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Web Whip goes a long way for
Yeah.
jumping and diving, and he does have that power on crit effect. He ignores stealth and cover, which is interesting for
His gainer gets the benefit of that, so that he can pursue forward.
yeah. So he's got some cool stuff. He's got healing factor, which is weird, but it's interesting. I don't know. Maybe he has a card. I'm excited for the character himself.
Yeah, the model looks good.
Maybe Prowler's going to be Spider. Maybe both.
Yeah, he'd probably be both, I think.
I don't remember what they said, whether he was the good guy version or the bad guy version of Prowler.
Well, it's his
think
uncle
they
from
said
the
he's-
movie,
Yeah,
so
it's his uncle.
So
it's not it's not the like comics Prowler.
Yeah.
So then it probably is then a Spider Foes, I'd imagine. And then apparently that new Miles is just like old Miles amped up.
Yeah, probably just a more fighty. That's probably the theme of this box here is fighty webs.
Yeah, trying to get webs away from just being scenario based. Give them some combat.
Yeah,
I'll take the new Spider Foe though. I would be happy to have a new Spider Foe.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, the affiliation's sort of drawn my.
And then we have more spiders. Definitely something that the game needed.
Or another broken two.
So we got Spider Ham, who's a new 2. He's pretty good. Silk.
Oh my God.
He'll be in every list.
Silk.
I literally said that night, I was like, I was yelling in chat. I was like, 2-drop Web Warrior. What are you doing, AMG? What are you doing?
He's size 1 too, so he gets the rocket treatment. He can hide behind a car.
Yeah, he's gonna be in every list.
And Web Warriors to affiliated to is crazy. The throws and stuff are all right. Like he loses extract if he takes any damage. But
Silk sounds like she's just a merger of a bunch of different characters, similar to how Scarlet Spider was.
Which is a shame, I guess. Like, I don't need a spider person that just does slightly different spider things.
Yeah.
Like, at least everyone else we've heard is unique. At least Spider Ham can say he's a 2-drop.
Yeah, and Spider Noir I know absolutely nothing about, and they were pretty vague in what they said he did.
He's probably another fighty one. I think they really are trying to make webs more fighty.
Yeah, he's a brawler, I bet.
Yeah. He probably has a decent strike effect.
And then the box I'm looking forward to, Echo, Ronin, and Tigra.
I think it is Tigra, because she is Tiger.
But Echo looks like she's going to be sick.
She's supposed to have reflexes like
Taskmaster, yeah.
Because that's her power. She has almost the same power as Taskmaster.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think they said that is Hawkeye Ronin.
Yeah, Clint Barton.
And then Tigra, I will never probably use that sculpt because that's not how Tigra has been
Rawr.
depicted in like 90% of her existence. Is she's always been like a bikini model,
Hmm.
literally.
I'm sure you
Not a
could
muscle
shave it
mommy.
down a little bit.
Take some liberties with the painting on that, but so it's so weird that she's fully clothed there.
Keep it
But
PG.
yeah, maybe that's it.
But these guys should be Avengers defenders, and I'm apparently an Avengers player. So, speaking of Avengers, I am extremely excited for Blue Marvel, another Superman trope character.
Yep, he's almost more like Dr. Manhattan,
Yeah, that's
which
fair.
is in that same vein. But yeah, he should be fun. I'm excited for Spectrum. Uh, they are calling her Spectrum, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine she will have the Bishop absorb energy type effect.
Yeah, and she's very similar to Captain Marvel in
Yeah,
effects. And these are supposed to be another Marvel Avengers. They're supposed to be Mighty
I'm
Avengers.
assuming they misspoke and it's just another Avengers affiliation because I can't
Yeah,
imagine they're splitting Avengers into two different affiliations now.
no, that's certainly what it is. They're going to be Avengers, and then the subtype's going to be Mighty Avengers.
Did they say which one had the leadership?
I don't think so, but of these two, it would probably be Spectrum.
Yeah.
The reason I don't want it to be is because Spectrum is another character we're on our way to getting next wave.
Ooh, what if
Or
Spectrum has an A Force leadership?
oh my gosh, they could only hope. She is on A Force, so that's at the very least. I imagine she would be affiliated.
A man can dream.
Uh, yeah,
But Blue Marvel, don't fuck this one up, please.
he should be good. We'll just have to wait and see.
So here's the release schedule. So soon we should be getting the Brotherhood Phoenix repacks, and then quarter 3, a bunch of repacks, Spider-Man Echo box, and nothing for quarter 4. Which I've heard people assuming there will be like a rival panel to come out then.
Well, they're probably hiding something for quarter. There's something, or something can get pushed up or pushed back. So,
Oh,
but
and
I
I
mean, a
didn't
lot
I
of
didn't
this
even
is
Or
see
brought
that.
in.
I didn't even see that quarter 1 was so loaded for 2026. Good lord.
oh yeah, no, I'm super excited for the Adam Warlock. I'm super excited for Kang,
Yeah, we'll get to their pictures are coming up.
and then Sentinel players rejoice.
So
I'm excited
quarter 2 is the
for
new
all
Crisis pack.
hmm with new extract styles.
So this is the restock schedule. So soon we should get those restocks. We already showed those. We know Clea's getting an update, which I am excited about. Um, but she's not in any of the repacks they showed.
She's with yeah, she is getting. I guess she's with Ancient One and
Oh yeah,
Mordo.
must be maybe Enchantress in there, and they finally make her convocation.
Ooh. Well, no, because she's
Oh, she's in
Enchantress
the
in the
yeah.
other Asgard
Yep,
pack,
you're right. No
which
clue.
is we should theoretically see these guys soon. The updates. I mean, they are coming in May.
Mm-hmm. And then looks like an Inhumans repack in quarter 4.
Yep. Black Bolt, Medusa, Lockjaw, Crystal makes sense.
Then quarter 1, Sentinels. We know they're getting reworked along with Mr. Sinister, but he's quarter 2 over here. They won't be in the
Yeah,
May update, but they'll be in the next one.
for the big year of Sentinel X-Men next year.
This box sounds crazy. Black Widow 2, Hawkeye, Captain America, Fury, and Shield agents, probably. And then She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Squirrel Girl, Gwenpool. It's quite the box.
Mm.
Not a lot of info on this other than just restocks.
Yeah.
And then we have Iron Lad, Ironmonger, King the Conqueror, and Rescue.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that.
King's on a medium base, it looks like here.
He's supposed to be. He's probably Cabal. They said he has an existing leadership.
Yeah.
So we're all assuming Cabal.
What is going on with this Ironmonger model?
I
It
think
is
it's on a
thick.
large and it's huge.
Yeah, he's
Okay, so
literally
he's just on the wrong base for the picture. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. That's
Oh.
what I've been hearing, is that he's either humongous and he's on a medium, or he's like a sentinel size and he's supposed to be on a large.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know anything about Iron Lad. I know Rescue doesn't really fight at all. She's more support, for sure.
Yeah.
We're approaching my dream of playing
Armor
Iron Man
Wars.
suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, Armor Wars. Yeah.
Armor Wars and Armor Wars affiliation card would be sick.
Yeah, for sure.
Iron Lad is a different version of Kang. He's an alternate reality Kang, but he is also he's also a young Avenger.
Maybe
So
we'll see that. Yeah.
they could go any number of ways with cards in this box.
This is a good pack too.
Yeah, the Moondragon sculpt is insane.
I am so excited for Adam Warlock and Quasar and Moondragon, because then I can have more classic Guardian or more
I'm
Advent
excited they're bringing the stones back finally.
and they're getting a special stone on.
Yeah, a special
Adam
soul
Warlock.
stone for Warlock. And now I'm gonna play Adam Warlock and Warlock in lists to confuse people. I don't know anything about Quasar. She looks dope.
I mean, it's the Guardians one, so depending on which she has the quantum bands. I don't know what they'll do with her. If they just make her a chick with a sword, that would be very disappointing.
Yeah.
But they are Guardians of the Galaxy.
They said Moondragon can use a stone too, but they didn't say which one.
She's a Infinity Watch character too. I forget which stone. I think it's a time stone. I could be wrong.
Boring. Boring time stone gets around more than Matt Murdock. Then some more Asgard stuff. I know a bunch of people are disappointed the Warriors 3 are on one base.
I am a little, for the same reason, for the Wrecking Crew. But I mean, the Wrecking Crew I guess, are fine. They're fine as what they are, but like, yeah, I would rather have individual character models.
These do look like bigger bases, at least.
Yeah, they look like two large base characters.
Like an A-bomb pack, kind of. That horse is going to be incredible once somebody paints it.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody will have. That's a future Path of the Worthy winner, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're getting close to the end here. I'm really excited about this pack just for multiple man, but
so many people are excited for multiple. I'm excited for multiple man.
They continue to put X-Men on Sentinel corpses with Jubilee.
Jubilee.
Do you think because we got Danny Moonstar that we'll see another New Mutants leadership?
Well, at least they get a character, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be nice.
And this is a new affiliation too, right? What is it? X
Factor.
X Factor, yeah.
But all these characters can go in. Like, I think they all jump in and out of X-Men teams, right? X teams.
Yeah, for sure. Multiple Man's probably Brotherhood too, right?
It could be. Depends. I kind of want to take that one that's reading a newspaper and do the noir, spider noir, and flip the head over there and swap the bodies and stuff. That would
Yeah, it's a
my
better pose from
Spider-Man
like
noir
Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, reading the paper. No, I think multiple man is what people are most excited for, other than people finally happy to have Jubilee for their classic X-Men.
Yeah, maybe she'll be a
90s
two threat.
Two-threat X-Men. That would make sense.
And then we have Bastion, Nimrod, and Omega Sentinel.
Sentinel players rejoice.
Yeah, I'm hyped for this.
X-Men 97 players rejoice. Watchers rejoice.
And then Omega Prime Sentinel in the Crisis Pack, right?
Yeah. I assume it will look pretty similar to the Omega Sentinel. There's smaller Sentinels, and then Bastion, and then the big boy Nimrod. They said Nimrod's gonna be... They had to tone him down several times. Hopefully he's still good, because we know how heavy-handed their tone downs can be.
We'll see.
Well, they didn't do that to Inhumans.
Yeah.
They didn't tone down shit.
So we know Toad's getting updated, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that they didn't go far enough before we even see what they did.
Yeah, probably.
But it's an exciting time for the game.
Oh yeah, no, the everybody was super hyped. Our new players, established players, like there's so much fun stuff to see.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad it's almost all of it is a year out.
Yeah, most of it is.
But who knows what surprises they drop in Q4.
Well, we know that we're getting organized play kits at least with
Those kits are so cool. We gotta
fancy
make sure we
stuff.
get some.
Yeah, surely we get some Gen Con drop, right?
You would think,
like info
yeah.
dump or something.
They usually save it for their mini extravaganza.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right.
But I imagine that will be mostly spoilers since we know basically all of next year.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have anything else before we close it down?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Nerf Toad. And we're out of here. Keep it positive. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.